Well, I thought it was a good weekend. We came out Friday night and played really well, and was able to get a bunch of big hits and get the run rule victory, and then came out and won a hard-fought battle on the first game on Saturday, just a back and forth. We didn't pitch very well in that game, but we swung it and we kept doing things right. We played defense, and it was just a matter of not walking and not giving up doubles, which seemed to be the problem on Saturday. But our kids went out, and Lauren got another big home run. Casey got a big home run, and was able to win that second game to give us a 2-0 series, and then really started off really strong in Game 3. Scored, I think, one in the first, one in the second, one in the third, and had a 3-0 lead going into the sixth. Sandra had a one-hitter going, and then it all just kind of fell apart, and they put a bunch of hits together, and next thing you know, it was 6-3. But our kids kept battling and scored two more in the bottom of the sixth to give ourselves a chance. Led off the seventh with a double, and still had a chance to win it. Just couldn't quite get enough hits there in the seventh inning to pull off that Game 3. But you take the Abilene Christian series on Tuesday, which we swept them on Tuesday, so that gives us a 4-1 week, which is really strong week, especially with the regional rankings being out and all that. Having a good 4-1 record against teams that are over 500 is going to look good. Well, Lauren's in a great groove right now, and when she is fun to watch because she's got a beautiful swing. And right now, her timing's there. She's sitting on changeup. She's doing everything, driving the ball to all parts of the field. And we've been missing that out of her for about 3 weeks before she got hot at Texas Women's a couple weeks ago. And that's going to be big. If we can keep her in the groove that she's in right now with Casey Easley and Rachel Moore swinging it well, and then Morgan Spearman, I think, is about to figure her little slump out, and she's having good at-bats right now. So if we can get those top four swinging it the way that they're capable of, that's going to be really, really, really good for us going down the stretch. But Lauren had 4 home runs this week, and a couple of them into that stiff win, which was pretty impressive. Well, I got to witness all those home runs, which that's a lot of fun to watch all 79 of those things go out. But when you look at those two players, and yes, they're both big, strong, powerful kids, but man, they nearly mirror each other in the way they approach the game. They both have an extreme passion for the game. They practice hard every day. They're intense. They're focused, and there's a reason why they've had the success that they've had. Two of the best players that have come through this program, and you look at the great players, and it's because they show up every day and they have a true passion to be good, and they despise losing. And it doesn't happen by accident, but they put their time in. They think about the game. They understand what they're doing, and when things are going wrong, they do their best to figure out why and fix it as quickly as possible. And I know Macy. I know she's a competitor, and she hate to give up that record, but at the same time, her and Casey are really good friends, and I know she's proud of Casey. No, defensively wasn't a problem. We didn't make the errors to cause the problems. It was just, the pitching didn't quite hold up in Game 3 there at the end. Like I said, Sandra had a one-hitter going into the sixth, so we felt really good. And then they let off the sixth with, I think, a full count single, and then had a pitch get away from her that hit a batter. And then from there, they just started stringing some line drives together. But we're going to address that situation. I mean, we've allowed Sandra to call her own pitches, her and Casey, and I think she just got in too much of a rhythm there in that inning and was kind of afraid to get out of her comfort zone. And we talked about this week, and we're going to make that adjustment to try to take some of that pressure off her and put it back on the coaching staff. And we're going to call pitches for her now, and to hopefully, if we feel like she's getting into a rhythm where it's becoming predictable, that we can make the changes for her. But for the most part, you're going to see us calling the same type of pitches that she wants to call anyway. But there are certain times where she seems to get into a little bit of a rut and is afraid to get out of her comfort zone, and we're going to hopefully help that process with her.
I mean, making this change isn't any type of punishment, I would imagine.
No.
It's just a change
Yeah.
to help.
No, I mean, the kid's 19-5 on the year, so it's kind of like it's almost one of those things where you hope it doesn't backfire on you, but. I think that once she figures out that we're not going to do anything drastic with her, it's still going to be pretty much the same thing. And then there may be innings where we let her go back to where she was. And anytime you can keep out of a rhythm, that's a good thing. But like I said, she was cruising up to that point, and it's just one of those things. You got to give Tarleton credit. They finally made the adjustment and got some line drives to fall, and I think we only made one error in that inning. So it wasn't. Defense is not our problem. We're playing solid defense right now, and I'm very proud of Amber Hill at shortstop and getting Laney back at third where she needs to be, and I've got a great outfield. Morgan Spearman made an awesome catch going up against the wall there in left field to save a double, and really we're doing things right defensively. That's not necessarily our issue. It's every once in a while we just kind of leave some balls where it doesn't need to be, and we need to get out of our comfort zone a little bit. No, we'll still leave Thursday afternoon around 3 or 4 o'clock. We do not play until Friday at 5, so for us, that's a little bit unusual. Typically, even in a conference series, we're going to try to travel that day and then play one game that night. But Kingsville obviously is a little further than other trips, so we're going to leave the night before, and we'll get there about midnight Thursday night. So no, moving it to Wednesday to Abilene is not going to affect anything. Just instead of practicing Wednesday, we'll get to play. So really, not that big a deal. But we didn't want to play up there in 40-something degree weather and 7 o'clock and with a north wind at 20. So instead, we'll play up there in 50-degree weather with the east wind around 10. So that sounds a lot more comfortable to Coach Reeves and I, and I'm sure the players and fans will enjoy that as well. Well, you hope so, but we haven't swept a series since the first series of the year against Cameron. It goes back to that lack of pitching depth. When you have to see Mary Kate and Sandra, 14 innings in a row, and then here comes 7 more innings of the same 2 pitchers. It becomes a challenge for us, and it is what it is, and we're just going to have to make sure that we continue to play good defense and swing it. We do need to go 4-0 this week. Abilene's got good pitching and some great slappers in the middle of their lineup, and if we can go up there and get that one on Wednesday, then we definitely feel like we should be able to go to Kingsville and get all 3. They're struggling to win games right now, and I think they can pitch the ball a little bit, but they're just struggling to score runs. So, but always going down there, it's always a tough trip going down there. The weather, I'm sure, will be really hot. Last time we were down there, the mosquitoes were horrendous. So you just never know what kind of conditions you may have to play in down there, and they support their athletic programs well down there in Kingsville. So I expect a big crowd, but we do need to go down there and go 3-0 and try to get a 4-0 week and end this regular season out at 34-15.